there's 6 pillars. It's a wonderful puzzle where we go through all these items in a big chest, um, and we methodically figure out that these pillars have a riddle that pertain to the items that we found in said box. After we go through each one and figure that out, we let's see. There was a mural. The mural showed all these different races. I don't think we figured out the meaning of the mural, um, but Theo sketched it, and I guess we could always reference that. Mechanicus almost falls after trembling in the next room, and in the next room, there's a huge face with a missing red eye, and the eye in the face reveals a small chamber. Uh, I have pedestal with shiny disc brass. Oh, yes. So we get the. I just have like my
Shorthand notes.
yeah shorthand. Uh, so we get the eye. Is it a jewel that we take out?
Can't make it work.
No, you put in the jewel,
Oh,
the
that's
gem.
right.
You put in the gem, which activated
Which
the hidden
found in
chamber.
the body, yeah.
Right.
And that activates a secret chamber. In the chamber, we find a piece of the astrolabe.
Right.
It's brass, right? And when there's another room on the other side. Yeah, on the right side, there's like a trunk that we found all these goodies. There was a cloak. There were 10 copper pieces, macra, 2 healing potions,
Bigger.
and 120 gold. Then in the other room, the left side, Mechanicus went in there and he found some scrolls that he started trying to he tried to decipher them or figure out the history behind them. And,
right. He found he found a letter.
He found a letter.
Right.
Or the scrolls.
He found some scrolls, if I'm not mistaken, but I'm gonna have to check my notes again. Yeah.
Okay. So he found a letter, and what did the letter say?
So the letter, I'll go over that in a second. I was just gonna wait for you to, because I was gonna do my own recap too. But you can go ahead and finish up your recap. So I can just kind of go over.
That's pretty much the end. Oh no, I got some mechanic. Oh yeah, so he leaves the room, and then he has like an episode, and like kind of collapses from, like, I mean, he passes out.
Turn off the living room main light.
Right.
And May tends to him. Hellscream opens the trunk. Mechanicus wakes up, and May saves the journal he dropped. That's all I got.
All right.
Ruins my hangout.
Yeah, but we ended up at where Mechanicus, we went across the room into like another tunnel that was kind of dark.
Mm-hmm.
And then something picked up Mechanicus.
It was about to, because we ended it because he couldn't be surprised. That's why. Like he said it after. All right, so yeah. Just to bring this back, because that was a pretty good recap on Miguel's for our last session. But this is kind of like the overall recap. Just basically what you guys are going through right now as our party travel deep within the infamous ruins of Thine, after taking a mission to find Waynon, the son of Thorin, which Mechanicus learned was a member of the Guild of Letters. Deep within the ruins, you guys faced with unexpected creatures, and you've managed to escape deadly traps with a little luck. You solved tricky puzzles and discovered a small treasure hoard. After finding the journal of Sadie's Thine, which you find, you also discovered the letters written by Vosrin, or I should say Mechanicus, was the one to discover and read it. Discover the written letter of Vosrin Zygon, which states the events of the past, which mentions of a betrayal of heralds called the Paragons, and among them he talks about creatures called Voidkin, who were responsible for certain events that Vosrin has stated were called frictions. And then soon after you discover the treasures, you after that you ventured off, to remain the remains of the ancient ruins, and as you do so, you wander to one of the darker corners of the ruins, and were about to be ambushed by creatures in the dark. So, at that end, I will have everybody roll initiative.
Oh shoot! Start with a bang. No Meliodas. Where's my Melly?
You gonna be taking control of Millie?
Oh, no,
You
you take control of him.
Nah, someone else can.
Nah. I'll take him.
Yeah, whoever wants to. I'm
I'll
gonna
take him.
I'm gonna
Give
put
it to me.
I'm gonna put all players for now, and I'll remove all players once. So whoever wants to take control of him, you should be able to see his character sheet, and you should be able to control him.
Okay.
Whoever wants.
Got it.
Oh shit, we're all initiative?
That's right, baby. It's down with a bang. Hey, you didn't get my initiative. Oh, did I? I didn't. Alright. Right.
Alright,
Alright.
I'll be right back. I need to fill my flight.
That sucks. Get the bad rolls out. Let's go.
Oh, we're gonna be waiting for Mechanicus. I think he's gonna be the first one. I can tell so far. We got Hellscream yet?
Should have been me.
Hellscream!
Why?
Roll initiative.
I did.
I don't see it.
Gotta pick your character.
Oh, you probably didn't. You probably didn't. Yeah, you gotta click on the icon before doing so. Okay.
Yeah, I missed
So
that
do it
one.
again, and we'll add your 16 to the.
Oh, can you add my 21?
You roll. Yeah, if you rolled before. You see. Oh yeah. Go ahead. We'll make it a
Character.
21 for you.
It's just like clicking on him.
You click. Yeah.
You click on your icon and then you click. Then you do the initiative.
You played in World 20 before, have you?
It's still coming out blue on my end. Is that good or no?
No, you're on now. I see it. You rolled a 16, so I'm gonna change that.
Thank you.
Okay, we got Theo. Okay, who's playing Melly again?
Let me roll this, guys. Hold on.
Yeah.
I forget. Alright, there you go. Oh, it's reading it. Okay, there you go.
Right.
Alright. What am I fighting here? What's going on?
Yeah, you.
This is where the spider come at me, ain't it?
Yeah.
Yes, it is. All right.
Somebody wasn't listening during the recap.
Okay. Naturally. Roll a 22. So, Mechanicus, with your keen ability to sense imminent danger, with your alertness, you look up and you see a spider jump down on you. And as it does so, fangs come down as it tries and attempts to bite you. With a... Oh, that took forever. With a 9 to the attack.
No.
As
I
you
don't
see
even
this,
have to cast shield. That is fucking amazing.
as you see this spider, the size of a dog, comes down at you, tries to bear down on its fangs, and surprisingly, you manage to move out of the way as it kind of stumbles down. You are... I don't know why I closed that. No, Theo, as you see behind you, you can hear the commotion as you see a spider come down towards Mechanicus unsuccessfully. You see in front of you another one as it appears right in front of you from the dim you see the figure of in the dim light, as this area is very dark. It's not as lit as the other ones where that have the sconces. The sconce that you can see only behind you could only backlight you for like a good 10-15 feet or so. But you do see the figure, the shadowy figure in front of you. You can only imagine, as you can see the legs silhouetting, I could imagine be a spider. This is your turn. What do you do?
So I see the spider in front of me, but I do hear the commotion behind me.
Yes, you do.
So part of me is going to, because I know that I hear the old man yelling and kind of doing his, I'm going to turn around. As I'm going, I'm going to whip out the scimitar and come up here and slash him with the scimitar right in his face. Let's do it. Does a 10 hit him?
No. As you come down with the scimitar, you barely escaping from the blow. It nimbly just moves out of the way.
Okay. After he does that, he's gonna use his bonus action and give it a shot for 10.
For 10, once again, as you hear the loud crack from the blast as it echoes in the small chamber, and you see some of the dust kind of fall from the blast itself, from the sound. Managed to just avoid you.
Darn it. Must be the dim lighting. And he just kind of braces for impact.
All right. Mind you that creatures from here, closest to this right here, will see much better in this setting. Everything beyond that is pretty dark.
Okay.
So beyond this point right here, where Mechanicus is, you will have disadvantage on attacks.
Gotcha.
And that's gonna be the end of your turn, right?
That's the end of my turn.
Looks like Mechanicus, you're up as you begin to react on the imminent danger right now.
All right, so Icanicus dodges ever so nimbly.
Breaks a hip.
Sorry about that.
Like, y'all have never seen anything more agile in your life. And except he did it in slow motion, so y'all can keep up. And then as he does so, he does this little twirl move to get out of the way, and he pulls out this little speck, and he holds it up to his lips, and he says, Peste, Ruitore, Sunt. And I'm going to infest the spider with tiny spiders.
All right, what do I roll for the spider? Was it a con? Go ahead and post that. Yeah, Constitution, right?
Hmm.
All right.
Yep.
And rolls a 13.
Yeah, it didn't work.
As it fails, its save. You see, Miguel, you see the spiders come out of the spider as an odd vision. Like if you were to step on a spider and you see baby spiders coming out of it, it's almost like that. Like you see as it springs, like all these little tiny spiders all around it. The spider right now, it's kind of just twitching around. Which way does it go, by the way? Direction it
East.
moves east towards you guys. I would say as it kind of bumps into both of you at this point. Is it only move 5 feet? I'm assuming, right? So
Probably goes here.
Correct.
yeah,
That's the next box.
I'm gonna make him go down here real quick, as it gives Mechanicus a reaction if he decides to, or an attack of opportunity.
This movement doesn't provoke attacks of opportunity.
It does not. Okay,
Unless
never
you want to
mind.
override it. I don't mind popping him with a stick.
Yeah, you're right because it's not willing. As it moves
Well, it's
over.
in the spell.
Yeah, the creature's
last
unwillingly
person.
moving. That's why I think it's a willing creature that moves. So
I got you.
that's gonna be the end of your turn, I'm assuming.
Well, am I out of its range?
Yes, you are. At this point, you are basically 10 feet from it.
All right. So Mechanicus is going to. Move back to there. I think I will let you take care of this now. I'm going to stand over here in the water. And he just kind of like stands there leaning on his stick, yawning.
And that's gonna be the end of your turn, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. Next up. This spider over here. You can hear in the dark the scuttling of the feet, many feet, as they come towards you. Hellscream and Jillian, as you can hear the clacking of spider feet coming towards you guys. That's gonna be the end of its turn as it use its
Attack
movement.
of opportunity.
It's still in your range.
Attack of opportunity.
You have Sentinel.
What? Oh, 2 seconds.
It's only if it
No.
walks out of your range.
Polar Master, when you take. Wait. Is it this one?
Yeah, let me know if because I can't remember. Post it if you have it on your thing.
First one, I was just reading it.
Is it when it walks in or when it
While
walks
you
out?
are wielding a glaive, halberd, pike, or staff,
Mhm.
other creatures provoke an opportunity attack from when they enter the reach.
There you go. Okay, that's what I want to hear. You're right. Go ahead and attack. As you hear the scuttling. Oh no, you have disadvantage. What's that? Because it's in the dark.
Oh, fuck. 9.
A 9. As you hear the clacking of the feet coming towards you and Jillian, you swing wildly and you hear the cling as you imagine you just missed as you hit the ground before you. That's gonna be the end of its turn. Next up is Meliodas. Meliodas can hear what's going on. He can hear the commotion between you and the spider here, and he just heard like the incoming one that's right behind him.
Okay. So I'm imagining this is like a wall, this section here right around him, right? This is all just, it's a foreshadow of...
You're just behind a wall. Yeah, you're just behind a wall here.
Okay.
Like if you try moving Melly down, that's as far as the wall goes.
Got you. Yeah, he's gonna walk up right into this guy here.
All
I
right.
believe there's another, and he's gonna take out his rapier and just do his damage here. For 16.
16 hits.
For 11. Oh, so it's a sneak attack. Or, I don't know how this works.
He does get sneak attack because you are adjacent to him.
Okay.
So yeah, altogether that's 10. It says 10 sneak attack and 11 piercing.
11, yep.
So 21 damage as he pulverizes it. As you pokes through it, you see it flop on the ground and unmoving at this point.
And then a couple spiders.
Yeah, the spiders are like
attack.
scuttling all over the place as it falls down.
Well done, Betty.
And that's gonna be the end of his turn.
And yeah, I'm
All
still
right.
running. I'm looking at his sheet.
Next up, I'll scream.
How do I check distance again? I know they changed the button.
You can
Looks
hit
like a
Q.
cone.
Hit Q. While you're holding your character. Oh, you want to check distance? I'm sorry.
Yeah, check
Yeah.
this. It's a circle with the little
A
cone.
little ruler thing, yeah. It's right underneath the magnifying glass.
I'm gonna move there. Still staying within his
All right.
vicinity. We're gonna take a nice little likely hack at the guy.
All right. Which one? This one over here.
Yeah, he's the only one I can see.
Okay. Yeah. As you can see, it's kind of like it's dark, shadowy form in a pretty dark lighting here. So you can see right below you. Go ahead and swing with the disadvantage again.
13.
Yeah, back.
13 as you strike down. For how much?
11 slashing.
11 as you pulverize it and you see it split in half. Mike, by the way, that was the answer to that is no. And that's gonna be the end of your turn.
I can move again, right? Yeah. No?
Yes. If you didn't do your full movement, you can move again.
Alright. I'm gonna step it on top of that corpse. Just for.
All right.
And that's the end of my turn.
All right. Jillian, you're up. You could still see the shadowy form of this one, but it's in the dark lighting. But you know it's there. From previously, you can hear it coming towards you. As it's coming towards the group right now, without trying to be sneaky, I should say.
I'm gonna try and hit it with an Eldritch Blast.
All right.
15.
15, that hits.
Yeah.
For 6 damage as you see it. You could. Oh, I'm sorry. No, it's a 6. You have disadvantage.
No.
No, a 6 as you blast with your Eldritch Blast. For a quick second, you can see the corridor light up for a quick second as you see it dodge out of the way of the Eldritch Blast. As it looks like it's ready to come forward.
I'm gonna give May Bardic
All right.
and an intern.
Intern Julian. May, you're up.
What's your dice or the die for the bardic? Is it a D6?
Yes, D6.
Okay. Going to move up. And I'm going to take out my whip and hope I can hit it. I'm gonna use my bardic.
Is that a natural one? With a natural one, you will miss no matter what. So I would say save your bardic.
Yeah. 6 is what I rolled. Natural 1.
All right. And that's going to be the end of your turn?
Yeah.
All right. Next up, as the one you can hear charging in the dim light come towards you, May, as you're its front runner at this point. As you see the shadowy figure in the dark leap towards you, as it bites down to a 12 for attack.
That miss.
That misses. As that one stops and at its tracks, trying to get towards you. The next one up.
Oh. Oh no.
Mechanicus, as you pulled away from the melee, right above you, another one comes down. I swear, man, you went exactly where I already had placed him. But it worked out just fine. As it fucking rolls a natural 1 on the fucking attack.
So as it like comes down like all like fast and shit, trying to like come
Jesus
down,
Christ.
Mechanicus just like steps out of the way, so that bashes his face into a rock.
It literally just comes down, and it's like coming down its web, kind of like a spider would do. Like it's like stalking. It's like tangling down its web, and then the web snaps as it comes down. Like right next to you, see this spider just land on its back, and you see its legs like trying to get back up. You see its legs like scuttling, like trying to get off its back. And that's gonna be the end of its turn for that one. Next up is the one that's dead, and after that it's Theo.
Theo sees. He sees him perfectly, right? Because he's in that range of that light.
Yes, you could see Mechanicus at this point just like barely need to do anything, as you saw the spider land on its back right next to him.
Yeah, Mechanicus looks more annoyed than anything. Say to take a step over.
Well, he's running and he's like, not this old man, and he slides with his scimitar like pointing towards like his feet, like a really intricate style that you guys haven't seen him do yet. And he's basically like kind of a slide step with the scimitar pointing at it. Very beautiful. To stab it right on his abdomen at 18.
As you do so, you just thrust the scimitar right to the side of his thorax, and you pull, and you see this green ooze just come right, just spew out as it lands on Mechanicus' feet.
Nice.
You know, it's just disgusting. Theo, watch yourself.
And then as he does that, as he's pulling out, he just kind of jumps up in the air and gets some pretty decent height on it, apparently. He uses that momentum, and he's just kind of whipping his gun out and shooting downward right at it.
All right.
For 24.
24.
Damn.
You honestly, I didn't even notice. You are flanking him too, but yeah, with that second shot, with that second one, at this point, its head kind of caves in from the shot as you see the flames coming from that elemental shot from the GFX 2, as parts of it starts to smolder from the heat of the flame shot, and it's dead.
Hang on, he lands and just blows the smoke, and he's like, "That's how you do it, old man." Were you impressed?
And you do this very, very well. Next time, watch my shoes. These were not cheap. And when you look down, he's got like old, just dilapidated sandals.
Theo just rolls his eyes and he kind of looks back to the group.
And that's gonna be the end of your turn.
The end of the turn.
Next up, Mechanicus, as Theo delivered a coup de grace to the helpless spider while it's on its back. You do see possible interaction with the rest of your party members at the far end in the darkness.
So Mechanicus, and this is totally thematic, like trying to be thematic with this, is gonna close his eyes and try to like go through all possible future events to see if there's any more spiders that are gonna come down from the ceiling. And so by saying that, what I'm actually saying is he looks up and, I'm gonna do a perception roll, but I'm gonna try to like beam it for the whole can see the future thing.
All right. Immediately around you as you look up, and you could still the clacking of like the scuttling of those spider legs hitting the ground or the cold stone floors is kind of echoing everywhere. So you can imagine it's probably coming from any direction. But as you look up in your immediate area, you really don't see any immediate danger within your range.
All right, the rest of you have it. Like I said, I will be standing here. And as he does that, he's kind of like wiping his foot against the rock, trying to get spider goo off of it. And that's his turn.
And that's a what? And that's it?
That's his turn.
That's his turn. Okay. And next up is Meliodas.
Oh, how do you do the gift thing? Is it brackets?
You do
Yeah.
bracket, space, bracket, then do open parentheses, your link, and then close parentheses.
Alright, it's coming.
Good job, guy.
I did it.
Good job, guy.
Oh, it's a space
Put a
between
space
brackets.
between your brackets.
Okay. Alright, third time's a charm. Nope,
No space between the brackets and parentheses.
fourth time's a charm.
Oh crap.
I didn't put a space, okay. Oh.
Okay. And you're using Meliodas, right, Theo?
Yes.
Right now it's Melly's turn. Just want to give you a heads up.
Alright. Yeah, so Melly he looks at, he knows there's some commotion to his, right, around here. And he kind of is running towards, towards Hellscream. And he's asking, kind of like signaling for him to boost him up. So he just runs towards him.
That's a little interesting. Is that allowed?
Wait, you're trying to what exactly?
So he's trying to run to kind of use him as a prop to jump over and get momentum.
So you're trying to jump over Hellscream, you're saying?
Yeah, but
Yeah.
assist, an assist.
With the assist is
You could do either
Right,
put
right.
his hands out like that and
so we have a reminder, you guys have inspiration beginning of the game, and you can do things like that. You can use inspiration for things like that.
he's gonna use his inspiration
Okay.
for that.
All right. So I'm gonna ask you to roll an a acrobatics or athletics check to basically to see if you succeed on that,
Okay, he's
on the
cool.
jump itself.
He's gonna do acrobatics, and that's with advantage.
No, to succeed in jumping over Meliodas, Hellscream, with the help of Hellscream, essentially. So go ahead and roll athletics, Hellscream, and then Meliodas either athletics or acrobatics.
He's gonna do acrobatics.
Okay. Whoa.
Oh gosh.
A
That's
natural 20. And an 11 for athletics. You're gonna come down. If you're gonna come down to Spider, go ahead and roll an attack now. Because at this point, Meliodas jumps. He has a good enough jump, but he barely sees the creature as he's jumping on top of it. So you're gonna roll a disadvantage, but with a plus 5 to damage if he succeeds.
If I succeed, all right.
Yeah.
Rolling with disadvantage with the rapier, he's gonna slash him down. What is that? 12?
At disadvantage.
How does that? Okay, so is it 7?
It's gonna be a 7 as he comes down and unfortunately misses it. As it's hard for him to kind of make out this dark figure, and then right now it's kind of intertwined with it's interacting right now with May as well, so it's kind of like hard to kind of get an idea of like where it is.
Okay.
But as he comes down, you can see like as he hits the ground with his rapier, you see the spark kind of light up for a quick second, and you notice that there are other creatures coming from back here. Is that gonna be the end of your turn?
Maybe. As a bonus action. Okay. He's gonna use his bonus action to channel his Crimson Right.
Okay. Go ahead and post what does the Crimson Right does again. It's the Blood Hunter stuff that he had.
It's long.
Holy fuck. Oh, he put everything in one damn thing. What is it? What are you trying to do right now with him?
So he's gonna, I guess he cuts
The Rite of
himself?
Flames? Yeah, as he takes his he basically puts his hand on his rapier and he just kind of slides his hands across it. And which rite are you trying to invoke?
The flame. He's gonna do the flame.
Okay, and as he does so, he slides his hand as he closes his fist around the blade, and as he pulls away, the blade ignites. As he does so, you notice.
Yeah. Oh shit. Oh my god. What is
Holy
this?
shit! What
What?
the fuck?
Are these little spiders?
Yeah. As you notice,
Oh.
tons of spiders, along with other spiderlings, are lurking in the dark as you see their eyes reflect light from that flame that's emanating from his blade.
So, as he sees this, and Melly his own way kind of turns around and is like, there's more.
There's more, guys.
And that's the end of his turn.
All right, and this is the end of his turn. Heads up, this one here is actually on the wall, closest to here.
Okay.
I just put up here, but that one's literally on the side of the wall, like that.
Gotcha.
Next up is Hellscream, as you see Meliodas light up using his Rite of Flame, as his flame ignites, and you see the reflection of all the eyes of these spiders staring back at you and everybody else.
So naturally, I move forward.
Well, naturally, There is a space, I believe, here. Move.
Yeah, I was gonna ask if I could get around.
Is
or like...
if you can bring your character like basically if you could bring it down, you could see how much you can move him. Like grab your character and move down. Yeah. So there's a lot of space there. You can just keep moving to see how much you could budge.
5. That's what I need right there.
Right.
Does that count as advantage?
Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna say yes. Oh wait, no. You know what? I'll give it to you.
I was gonna say because I'll move again.
Yeah,
Shit.
I'll give it to you.
Give it to me.
You're going for a nice little
Hmm.
slap. About that.
Oh, has he had advantage? You
He
got-
has advantage though, with a 19.
Oh yeah, that's right.
For how much damage?
8 slashing.
8 slashing as you come down, and you come down. Half its legs are removed on one side as you see the spewing green ooze come out as it's like moving its stump around as it got stunned by the strike.
So I'm gonna use my bonus action and then clap him with the bottom end of my.
Right. With your polearm master technique.
All right, I don't know why that went twice.
That's fine. The 12 does hit.
12.
As you come down with the second one, you put it out of its misery as you splatten it down, unmoving. That's going to be the end of your turn.
Yes, it is.
All right. Next up is the swarm of spiders.
No.
As these tiny creatures come towards you and invade your space. Hellscream. As you see what looks like hundreds of spiders in this swarm start crawling all over your legs. And little by little they start chomping and biting different areas. As it attacks for 13. As it's in your space right now, just biting all different areas on you. Does 13 hit?
Oh, does 13 hit? No.
Unfortunately, they're pretty much biting on top of your armor. They really haven't found the soft parts of you yet, as you feel them just all over you at this point. That's gonna be the end of that turn of that swarm. Next up, the second swarm, as you see coming towards you, May, as it throws, as you see them crawling on top of that dead that spider that Hellscream just had obliterated, and they come right towards you, and they do the same as they start to crawl on top of you, swarming your legs as it comes up towards your crotch area, as it strikes down for 22 to hit.
Yeah, that hits.
As you take 6 piercing damage.
Alright, so this isn't clear on whether or not this takes a bonus action or not.
What are you trying to do?
The Polearm Master.
Oh, that's a reaction to do that. And go ahead and so you know what? It did go into your polearm range. Which one were you doing it to? The one that went towards you, or the one that went towards May?
No, I was already in the range. Like, I went into the range because I have the. It's considered long, if I'm not mistaken. No.
What? What do you mean?
So when...
What are you talking about?
The range on the weapon.
Your range for that weapon is 10 feet.
Yeah, I was already within the range of the first swarm, so.
Okay, so you swung at the first swarm.
For May, yeah.
Okay.
So this is going for the one that's going to May.
Oh,
so
I got you. Okay, so go ahead and swing an opportunity attack on that swarm.
12 for 11.
A 12 hits as you slashed through it. It has resistance to slashing, as only some of them got kind of like chopped through. And you see like maybe like 3 or 4 of the spiders within that swarm had taken the blow, as you see majority of them still going towards her and crawl through her. May, you take 5 piercing damage. I told you that already. Right?
Yeah, I already subtracted.
Okay, I just want to make sure. I wasn't sure if I told you. And that's gonna be the end of the swarm's turn. Jillian, you are next. As you see your friend near you right now, May, just begin to be overwhelmed with hundreds of spiders coming from the ground up. You can't hear you. Nope, I can't hear you.
Can't hear you. You're muted.
What did you do?
God, Misty.
God, Misty. Why you gotta get the headset with like 1,000 buttons on it? Oh. Hey, tell Barbara that tea was good, by the way.
Are
She
these
said,
swarms-
"Yay!"
Are these swarms like taking up their space? Like,
Yeah. Have Meliodas touch me. All homo.
Right where you pinged? What are you trying to do?
1 second.
She's like,
Hold on,
wait.
hold on.
Charades, guys. We're playing charades.
Charades.
Shatter. Holy shit. Okay, hold on a second.
oh, right where she
Let-
pinged.
Okay. A couple of things. One, this one here is dead. So I want to give you a heads up. The one here. Right? And that's where you want to put Shattered at? Shatter is a 10-foot radius. And I want to remind you that you are in a cavern right now.
Do it. She's a kid, isn't she? She don't know better.
All right, cool. We're doing this. Okay. 10-foot radius from this spot right here. So, that means everywhere around here, 10 feet from this point of origin, I need everyone to make a Constitution saving throw.
I don't like this.
Oh, I did that at disadvantage.
Ain't gonna hurt.
Oh, is 12
Fuck!
is 12 your spell save? Okay.
We're fucked.
All right. Let me get some dice here, guys. Hold on a second.
That's not good. Take out the dice. No shit's going down.
I'm sorry. Did I just mute myself?
Can you hear me?
May. Yes, I can hear you. Awesome.
Oh, fuck. All I had to do was unplug it and plug it back in, apparently.
May,
Yes.
roll a D100. I'm sorry, not May. I'm sorry. Jillian. Roll a D100. right.
I'm sorry, guys.
Okay.
Don't be sorry. Be proud.
Look, y'all had spiders on y'all's face, so they're icky.
Hey, I probably would have appreciated that if I were in that position.
All right. So who did the save? It was Theo 19. Roll for Meliodas as well, because he's in there.
Well, I did roll for Meniel.
You did? Okay. Oh, I see it. Okay.
That's his roll.
Okay. And your roll?
Mine?
Oh, you're not in there. My bad. I'm
Yeah.
looking at it wrong. Okay. Yes. All right. Okay. Spider number 1. Okay. Does it? You filled that. Okay. 2. Warm. Nope. 20. As you point your finger towards that destination, it starts off with on the ground as you see the one that the Hellscream had just cleaved in half. As point of origin, you just start seeing it start crumbling in itself, cracking and just shattering into tiny little pieces. And from there, it just starts spreading in the ground underneath, and it starts spreading to the walls and some parts of like the ceiling. As everything kind of starts cracking, and then just instantly, just a shattering noise followed with a large portions of it start with bullets of debris just shattering, just all over everyone in that section. Hellscream, May, and Theo. Not Theo, I'm sorry. Meliodas? No, I get mixed up because you rolled twice, that's why. You all take 18 points of thunder damage as the cracking sound shatters through your ears. As it does so, you see the integrity of the ceiling starts to give way as portions of it starts to fall. Behind, you see like another rock towards the behind this other spider here. You see one giant boulder just splat in it as you see goo and guts from the green ooze spew out of it. I need Meliodas, May, and Hellscream to roll a dexterity save as you see debris, large debris, start to come down towards you.
Oh, thank God, finally!
There you go. There's your crit.
And Meliodas.
Oh, he passed the save, bro.
No, this is a dexterity save now, as
Ooh.
debris is falling. The first one was from the thunder damage.
12.
May, Hellscream, you look up. Both of you kind of look at each other and just jump towards the side, and you dive out of the way. Meliodas just not in time as he looks up, and parts of the rubble just land on him. He takes 13 bludgeoning damage as portions of the debris land on him. May, you still have some spiders kind of lingering around as you brush them off. Some of them you see them scuttling away. Hellscream, for some reason, those spiders that were on top of you, though, they were just latched on you. They were still trying to find soft spots within your armor as they continue to just wreathe around you and try to figure out where they can do most damage. And that's gonna be the end of your turn, right, Julia?
Yes, I'm sorry.
Man, you're up.
This one's dead though, right?
That one is dead, and this one is dead too.
Oh, and what do I roll again for the magic thing?
Say again.
The magic surge thingy. What?
Oh yes, roll a d8. Sorry about that. Yeah, you're good. May, you're up.
Is the walls and stuff still collapsing around me?
You can see some of it kind of still falling, but more like smaller, like residual portions of the wall that or the ceiling that kind of fell down. It's hard to see the rest because a lot of dust is kind of kicked up, but it looks like it's not continuing. It just looks like there's a large plume of dust and debris that kind of like covers this whole area here that kind of gives a concealment.
I still have spiders on me, so I'm going to try to knock them off me with alarm strikes on them.
Your mic is popping. No, the spiders that were on top of you, they're pretty much dead. I just pretty much worded it as like the rest of that were still alive, or like a couple were remaining, kind of ran away. So they died within the rubble of all the stuff that's falling.
Can I see Hellscream?
You can see Hellscream as he dodges out of the way of the rubble, and you can see him being swarmed still by those spiders.
And
Okay.
Meliodas has his flame sword on, so you see that. Oh, you're able to see that.
Get this guy out.
And an 11. Does that hit?
The swarm? No, it does not. As you try to, I'm assuming, kind of like
I'm gonna
slap
use
some
my,
off, but
bardic inspiration.
okay. All you need is a 1, so whatever you roll, you will get. As you start trying to slap some of the spiders on, some of the slaps are kind of like hitting like Hellscream at the same time, but not with major damage. But with 7 bludgeon damage is reduced down to 3, as the swarm is resistant to bludgeoning and piercing and slashing.
Then I'm going to do bonus action, use a key point, and do Flurry of Blood.
All right.
You're just like, go eat a Honda on that shit. Oh. Oh. Is it an advantage?
What do you roll? See, like 3 other ones. You're supposed to do 2, right?
Yeah, I don't know why it
No, that's fine.
kept doing.
That's a 9 and a 7. And unfortunately, at that point, you're kind of just like hitting Hellscream with your strikes, but not a lethal blow, as you're kind of just hitting him a little harder when you're trying to swipe and slap off any of the remaining spiders that are still kind of swarming all around him. And that's gonna be the end of your turn.
Yes.
All right. Next up is Theo.
Alright, so he doesn't really see what's going on, just kind of hearing what's going on.
You
All the
could
way
see
up here.
because of Meliodas and his sword now.
You can see from there? Perfect.
Yeah.
Alright, so then Theo's gonna see this and, oh, bro, jump with me. And he's gonna dash. let's get creative here. He's going to. Yeah, he makes it. I'm thinking. Just to make that extra 5 feet, he's going.
Well, you don't have to be on. So you can if you want to be next to him, I think you could still make it.
All right, he's going to use his action just.
Yeah,
to
because
he
you can
wants
go. You can
momentum
be.
for what he wants to do here. Is
Yeah.
basically yelling, and he's running towards him, and he's like, "Come on, do this. We did this once when we were chasing by bees. Jump and bump with me. Do the bump." And he runs and he jumps like and kind of like shifts his weight to the side to kind of that way to clash with it to kind of hit the.
Just want to give you a heads up. You're in the space with Meliodas.
Oh, we can't share.
Yeah, you can't share the space, unfortunately. You would have to go if you can go underneath.
Well, I could go past him, right?
You can go past him, but it's gonna be extra. It's like going through rough terrain, so you need extra movement for that as well.
What is there is here?
Yeah.
So I got 60 feet. All right, so I run around him and come back and do a U-turn. So I go all the way here like that and come back here like this. And I'm running to kind of bump.
You could. There's a space underneath. Like you don't have to go. Like there's a space right here,
okay.
right underneath Mel. Yeah, okay. You just can't see it. Like if you, like I said, if you bring your token all the way down, that means you can occupy that space.
I got you. All right, cool. All right, so yeah, I got up to that close to him, running and jumping, and in a way to bump into him and hit those. So it's kind of an attack. It's like a tackle, but
okay.
Body tackle.
You know what? Since you haven't used your Theo's inspiration, I'm gonna attempt. So what are you trying to do is kind of like remove like whatever
how
is like
baseball players do it in the after a game after they win, they kind of jump and bump each other.
Okay, I see what you're trying to do. So you're trying to bump. Yeah. All right.
Come on, give it to me.
Go ahead and roll a performance check.
The performance? Yeah. Can I do athletics?
Sure, go ahead.
And was it with advantage?
No, it's not.
17.
That's 17. You know what?
Come on. It's a good roll.
For that, I am going to... Hold on a second.
Creative.
Yeah, let's do this. I'm going to roll to see if the spiders... Because you're basically like bumping into him. I'm going to roll to see if the spiders save to hold on to him.
Perfect.
Oh, I'm dropping it. Natural 17. And they got a -4 to strength. So 13 as you see the spiders kind of just like when you hit kind of like when you hit like something that I don't know.
I mean, it's like hitting a wall because I know Hellscream.
Yeah. No, Hellscream's like a wall, yeah. But when you hit it against him, you see like the spiders just kind of just fall on the other side of him as you knock them all as they couldn't hold on.
Nice. That's how you do it. Yeah.
And that's to be the end of your turn, right?
Yeah.
Next up
Sorry
is
forever.
Mechanicus.
Mechanicus marching on, versus rolling his eyes. Oh my goodness, we're got to get on with this stuff. He reaches into his pocket, and the black speck disappears, and he pulls out a little bit of fleece. And he says, Focus, Realis. And he points at the spiders, and he was going to phantasmal work and make a chameleon appear that begins eating the spiders.
All right.
But only the spiders can see it.
And that is going to be a what check for them? Intelligence save, right? Just giving you a heads up. They got an intelligence of 1. because I believe
Yeah, intelligence. You say 14.
alrighty. Intelligence save. They just rolled an 11. As they see a giant chameleon up against it, basically. Am I on mute?
No, whatever.
Okay, just want to make sure. Okay, as they fail to save with an 11, you said your save was a what again? I can't remember.
14.
14, yeah. So they definitely failed. At this point, they're just kind of looking at the phantasmal force.
Deals 1d6 psychic.
Okay, as it attacks, like the phantasmal force attacks them, right? That's what it was. Okay, go ahead and roll d6. As they take 4 damage. I want to make sure they're not conditions. I'm trying to see what they're immune to or to. Yeah, they don't think about psychic damage. Alright. And that's gonna be the end of your turn?
He's gonna slowly start walking.
Okay. Alright. And next up, Meliodas. At this point, you see this Meliodas and everybody else. You can see the swarm at this point trying to regress, and they don't look like they're going towards anybody.
With his flame sword, I don't know. How's that one? He's got the rapier. So does he? Oh, I'm looking at the wrong. When the Crimson Raid is activated, you suffer damage equal to your. Oh, I didn't do that. What's his level? 4. We're all level 4, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, level.
I think the Rite of Flame. Because he basically you can just roll Rite of Flame with the rapier, because he has the Rite of Flame attached to it.
Does it get extra bonus point?
Yeah, it's an extra 1d4 fire damage when he attacks.
Got it. Okay, so he's gonna. Let's see. He's gonna shimmy around down here and attack the swarm. Is it normal damage?
Just regular attack, and then just add another d4.
Nah,
That misses.
I missed.
Yep. And that's gonna be the end of Meliodas' turn.
No, he doesn't have. Wait, no, it doesn't have actions. Oh, he's a rogue. Okay.
Yeah, rogue's not gonna at this
Okay.
level.
Yeah.
He didn't spend enough rogue levels to do other cool shit.
Okay. That's the end of his turn.
All right, next up, Hellscream. At this point, you see that swarm that initially was on top of you, on the floor behind you, as you see them scuttling at this point, trying to. Looks like they're trying to escape and evade.
Well, it seems like combat's over, but just to be a dick, I want to pick up like 1 or 2 of them and eat it.
Go and roll a. Just roll a dexterity check to see if you can catch one. Go ahead and run. Rawr.
Fuck.
Unfortunately, they're too quick.
Too slow.
As combat ends, as the next you just see them, the swarm at this point just disperse as they're heading into these tiny little cracks all over the place because of the rubble that has cascaded upon partial of the group, and there's rubble everywhere at this point. As combat ends, you could see the rubble, or you could see like parts of the floor and the ceiling. You can see parts that the wall was attached to, where you had the Mikra stones kind of protruding. You see some of the Mikra stone cracked as well, alongside with the shatter spell that the little wee girl had bestowed upon the immediate area. Parts of the Mikra you could see kind of flickering with ambient green hue. As remnants of the thunderous sound kind of echoes throughout the whole portion of this cavern. You hear the constant rumbling in the background that this that the ruins pretty much have been trending. Same thing over and over that we've been noticing since you've arrived.
Does it feel like we're closer to the source of the rumbling?
From here, it just feels like it's pretty consistent.
Okay.
With how much you've encountered. The in the immediate distance in front of you, you can see a crack of light from the wall furthest from you. As you would imagine, all the devastation this place have endured, you would imagine this wall right now probably just suffered a weak point. But you can see light coming from that next, from this partially destroyed wall.
I mean, Theo slowly walks towards the light as he's kind of like reloading his gun as he's walking slowly there.
All right, and the rest of you, what are you guys doing?
Mechanicus, like, just, like, walking up, like, picked up his pace a little bit, getting even with Theo, going up to this.
The bodyguard stays close.
All right. Meliodas is kind of just looking at May at this point. Hey, you don't look so good. I think you should, like, sit down.
I think that's a good idea while I check that out. And I'm gonna pull out my herbalism kit and try to bandage myself up.
All right. Go ahead and just roll a medicine check. That, and the rest of you, at this point, I know Theo was going towards kind of like the cracks and the lighting, the little areas of light kind of reflecting through the immediate area. Melly's kind of like, hey, I probably should just kind of let the flames stay on my blade, but I don't know how much longer it's gonna stay, so we might need some other source. Theo, as you get closer to the wall, you could see much better now that you can tell that portions of the wall, as I said, is weakened from all the the this seismic events that you've encountered within the room. And as you get closer, you can see a good amount of light, ambient green light coming from the other side, just streaking through the cracks.
I mean, there's a slight kind of hypnotism to it, like being mesmerized by it.
Not really. More along the lines of, it's kind of like when you're in a dark room and the door to the room is like shut and you can see light on the other side. It's kind of like that, but just you know, not a whole frame of a door. It's more like bits here and there.
Now, and this is the cracks within like the stone wall, like of the cavern wall.
Yeah, it appears to be not a cavern like natural wall. It looks like it's a man-made stones put together.
Oh, okay. So it's like okay. All right. All right. So I walk to it, and I like to investigate if there's like a weak point to this structure or like this area.
Okay, I'll go ahead and roll an investigation check. And the rest of you guys, of course, what are you guys doing?
So Jillian is going to light up a torch as she walks over to May, and I'm gonna like place it next to her, and I'm gonna give her a great big hug, and I'm gonna start like tearing up, and I'm like, I'm so sorry as I'm hugging her, and then cure some wounds. For
Okay.
6.
Yeah, it's 6.
That's not really a lot, but I'm sorry.
6 health to that. And go ahead and roll a chaos figure dice for me. At 8 again.
I just hug her back and just tell her, like, it's okay. I know you're still learning your magic. Just next time, maybe try a little harder on concentrating.
With that 6 years. I'm sorry, Hellscream and Mechanicus. That was what you guys were doing again?
Mechanicus is next to Theo, kind of watching Theo mess with the wall, looking for the weak points.
And I rolled a 12 for that investigation.
Mechanicus would be helping Theo look for weak spots.
Okay, go ahead and roll another. You want to help him, or you want to do your own investigation? You see help. Like, you want to like give him advantage, or are you just
like Mechanicus is kind of like looking around, so, oh, there might be one right there. Kind of points his stick at it, just kind of. Yeah,
okay, so you're helping. All right, just go ahead and roll another investigation, Theo.
Now, see what you see, old man.
And with that 8, May, you feel like with more time and maybe more rest, you have probably done a little better job patching up just the immediate areas that you know that probably needs.
Okay.
Oh, Theo, you can roll another investigation check because he gave you advantage.
With advantage?
No, just roll just one regular one because you already rolled that 112 earlier.
Okay.
And Hellscream, what are you doing again?
I'm just looking around, like looking at the ceilings.
Okay.
Paranoid as fuck.
Oh, you just go and roll a perception check.
I got a 7 on that.
A 7, yeah. So you got 12 and a 7. The 12. You look at the wall and you're trying to figure out like. It looks like it still probably has a lot of integrity and throughout the whole wall, but you feel confident that if you have more possible destruction in certain parts of it, you can give way, and you could probably see other portions that might be a weak point within.
So look at
Yeah, Hellscream. You look up. See shit scuttling in the ceiling, like cat size, dog size, like small dog, like medium dogs.
so I look at Mechanicus. Mechanicus. I think if we get some force here, enough force, we can knock this thing down.
I completely agree. Now we probably need Hellstream. Come here. We need your assistance.
What was that you said?
He said for Hellscream to come here, we need his assistance.
Yeah, I don't think this is gonna work out very well.
Patience. Let's think here.
Yes, I've got an idea. All right, Hellscream, let me see your muscles.
Meliodas
Go
like
straight up against the wall.
Meliodas is like, well, go on, show him your muscles, man.
I haven't got all night. Now, let me see your muscles now.
1 second. Actually, might be able to finesse this. Hold on.
I wish I was a
Memory
master.
for maps and geography.
You got something? You got a feat or something?
Do not be scared, Hellscream.
There we go.
I would never kill you on purpose.
Gotcha. In addition, you can find. Yeah, unfortunately, there's no maps or anything that you have within memory of this place because it's a dungeon that you've never been to.
It's a hole in the wall.
Mechanicus is gonna take his staff and take the end of it, tap Hellscream on the forehead with it. Excuse me. Let me see your muscles.
Show him your muscles.
I show him the muscles.
As he does so, I'm gonna cast enlarge on
Oh shit!
him. And now, I need your big dumb ass to knock that wall down.
Theo steps back. Oh.
Mechanicus just walks over to the side of the hallway and just stands there impatiently waiting for Hellscream to knock the wall down.
Yeah, as you Hellscream, as you kind of start looking at him, is like, all right, fine, and he starts flexing like a bodybuilder and shit. I don't know where you just see the rest of your party just get smaller and smaller for a quick second, and they all kind of remind you of Jillian at this point. And Jillian looks really tiny now.
I was about to ask what's her size.
I mean,
all right. So with that, as he gets, I'm not gonna be taking too kind to your calls of dumbass. I guess it'll be done.
Would you just shut up and knock the wall down? It's not going to last forever. If you were smarter, you would know that.
Hellscream readies and begins to charge at the wall.
all right, go ahead and roll a athletics check with advantage. What do you give you?
He gets advantage on strength check.
Okay, yeah, advantage. As you see Hellscream He's kind of looking towards you after the remarks. You can't really tell his expression behind the mask. You could tell he's a little upset about it, and he looks over towards the wall, and he starts to just kind of crouch towards towards it as it sits like 20 feet from him, and he charges through, doom, 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 and you just see the stone wall just as you see it collapse, and the light just kind of shine towards you guys as he falls through, and you see him kind of take a knee and look up as reveals this large chamber. Back over.
There we go. Problem solved, Theo. Now, let us make our way inside.
As you reveal. Large circular chamber. It's being lit up by a spire in the middle of Mikra. Oh wait, I removed the wall, but I didn't. Boom.
Okay.
Can we bio in a minute? Bio break.
Ooh, bio break.
It's
She
midnight. Yeah, it's
needs to
midnight. You know
poop.
what?
She needs to poop, guys.
He
I
needs to.
don't need to poop, but I
So-
really
Like, we're
gotta
talking
pee.
18-inch turd here.
I had all of that of coffee.
We'll come right back, and I'll let you know exactly what is
Oh.
revealed.
Ooh.
Man, you've had all of that. I've had all of this.
Well, I have this tiny woman bladder.
Yeah, I do too. There's things you don't know.
think it's because you need to be right.
There's fucking shit out here. She has this jalapeno cheddar shit for popcorn. Stuff's so good.
Mm.
All right. Everybody's ready. So, Hellscream goes crashing through, revealing this larger chamber. In the center sits a spire of Mikra, about 10 feet. As you approach it, you can see it emanating this the green ambient light that you've been noticing kind of flickering throughout the dungeon as you advanced and noticed. As you enter, another rumbling sound. The whole floor shakes. Just a small tremble. The dusk falling. The whole room seems to cascade this dust that's kind of like falling and settling right now. In the middle where the spire sits, you see contraptions laying all around. What looks like levers, and portions of it show sliding, what looks like a sliding handle. At the far north section of this chamber, you see a door, same as you've encountered, with this large stone and metallic structure, which looks to be not unlike the other ones. It's more smooth and doesn't look like it has a keyhole.
You said a small keyhole?
It said it's smooth, but it's not like the others. There's no keyhole in this door.
Is this Mikra material value?
Go ahead and roll a history check.
Oh, I can tell you all about Mikra.
16?
16?
Yes.
Gosh, on the note. So you know it as a semi-precious stone. It's not necessarily like an expensive stone, but it's a it's a stone that you've seen around and is highly used by a lot of craftsmen for like jewelry and other means. Of semi-precious stone. It's like an from what you can tell, it's like a shell-like substance. You know that that Mikra itself can be found throughout Aedonos, and they're usually found growing up through the ground like veins from what you understand. As a Vakalan in the homeland, it's very much so a precious stone when it comes to the old monks and certain religious groups back home. They consider highly spiritual with the stone, like it's highly worshipped.
Okay.
And from traditions and your culture, they they believe that the soul exists within these.
How long does that enlarge last? Oh, really? Alright, so that's probably wearing off. I start walking towards the spire.
Okay. Yeah, you walk towards it. And like I said, surrounding the spire, you don't see it in the map, but this is just theater of the mind at this point because this map doesn't have it. It represents what I'm trying to show you guys. Around the spire, like I was saying, you see contraptions like attached to it. Or you see machinery that's built, you would assume, from the Ark'Azians. There seems to be a purpose behind this, where it seems that the spire itself holds some sort of meaning with these mechanical enhancements that they built. Think of like a long table, but curved within the circle, and it sits like three tables, kind of like linked together. Each one has like their own sets of dials and switches.
So I look towards the old man. And what do you make of this?
What does the old man make of?
I don't know. What is the old man attempting to do?
History.
History. What you roll? What did you roll? I can't see it.
21.
41. What?
21.
Oh, okay. A 21. You immediately kind of remember little diagrams or sketches that you've noticed from previous journals or diagrams that seekers have brought within the guild and collected throughout the year. This very much looks like the Ark'Azian architecture within some of their mechanical means of their short-lived technology that pretty much still a little unknown.
Does he feel like possibly we could reactivate whatever it is?
Perhaps with investigation, you might.
Alright, so Mechanicus is going to walk past the two imbeciles, and he is going to investigate.
Okay. And the rest of you? What is the rest of the party doing?
I'm making my way into the room.
Okay. As you may, you walk in the room. You see the contraption. And the rest of you, same thing. As you walk through, you see the spire. That's pretty much the centerpiece of this chamber. Mechanicus, with a 6, you stumble towards it. You're looking at perhaps the purpose behind some of the mechanical means. You look at the spire, trying to figure out where the connection lies. It's kind of hard to understand. There's the comprehension of the technology and perhaps the magic that the arcanic knowledge that the Arcasians have is just it's just out of your grasp. You really don't understand what the means of this machinery has to do with the Mikra that you see in the center of this chamber. But you do notice, though, as you look upon it, you do notice the writings within, not within, but etched on certain portions of the machinery itself. The writing looks very similar to the writing that you saw at the Chamber of Pillars, which you understood earlier through your spell.
Yeah.
May you see the writing, and right away you understand what you see. It's the same language that somehow you know. Scaran language.
I just walk up next to my Canicus and start reading the scripture out loud to everyone.
Okay. Yeah, you go up to it. You see one portion of it. It looks like each one of these placed tables have their own unique information. As you walk up towards one, and says in Scaran, midday. As you walk to the other one, it says midnight. Seeing the other one.
And then I'm going to look around the room to see if I see any more writing.
Go ahead and just go ahead and roll a perception check, if you. And you said that out loud, right?
Yes.
Okay. The rest of you at this point, as you hear May reading the inscribed inscriptions on each one of these mechanical.
Could you repeat what was said?
Said midday, midnight, sunrise.
You said there were dials. How many dials were in each table?
So you look at one, and you see dials, what looks like curved dials, or I should say grooves. Sorry. You see the dial, and behind or underneath the dial, you see a groove that kind of curves underneath. And as you look at it, you figure maybe the dial can be shifted within the groove. There's 3 dials on the table. Each one of them have their own groove.
Oh,
underneath.
So it's like a crescent shape.
It's kind of like a quarter or 1/3 of a circle, each
Okay.
one. And as you look at the other one, next to it, you see, instead of the dials, you see 3 switches. And then the other one, you see another 3 dials with the sliding grooves underneath. Go ahead and roll an investigation as you're kind of looking at it as well.
Who's rolling? Me?
Investigation.
21. Crit.
That was a natural 20.
Yeah.
You've been around many machines.
Mm.
You've been around many mechanical discoveries and mechanical ingenuity. And as soon as you look at it, it's reminded of some of the works that you see not only from your father, but others that reflect, like, or your father reflected from all from the, and right away you know you can see the architecture, you can see the origins of a lot of the technologies within your culture has spanned um from what you can tell. It's like you looking at it, you can see that there seems to be the dials and switches that you can either place in the right side or place in the, I'm sorry, in the right positions within each one of these tables. As you can tell,
draw
you can
what it
slide
looks like?
you can slide the dials through this
Right.
quarter, like quarter circle table, and the switches itself, as you can see right away, depending on the switch itself, would perhaps do something, depending where you would place them as well. You could tell right away that this is all tied to the centerpiece, which is the spire itself.
Right. Well, I kind of do like a chuckle, like easy. This it's beautiful. Reminds me of home. Uh, and he goes to where you can move the dials, the table.
Okay.
And what which time in the day does it? The one I'm standing in front of.
This one with the dial. You're looking at one that says you're looking at the one that says midday.
This one. So, which one does this one say?
So just let me know which one you're trying to go to. There's midday, midnight, sunrise.
I don't know which one is which. So
Yeah, physically on a map, let's not even worry about it. Let me know which one you're gonna go to, because there's two with the dials and there's one with the switches. The first one you see with the dial says midday. The one in the middle, not the middle, but the second one from that one says midnight. That one has switches. And the one that says sunrise, that also has the dials.
okay, so sunrise and midday have dials, and the midnight has switches. Can you kind of rudimentarily draw what the dials look like?
Uh,
It's hard to.
Oh,
And the switches, how many switches are there?
there's three.
3. And they can go up or down.
So think of the spire is in between like that. There's a table here, table here, table here.
All right.
The ones with the dials look like this. Oh, that, and there's a groove underneath that you could see that you can move the dials.
Oh, okay. So you can slide it.
Right. And the other one is just 3 switches. Table. With normal switches on the table. That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Are there any symbols next to the dials, like to say, what's this? Are they just kind of? It just says sunrise on one and midday on one, and it has 3 dials on.
No. As you look with that investigation check, you do not see any any symbols. You only see the only thing that you see that you would think is a symbol because you don't understand it is the writing, the scripture that May had translated. Because the language is unfamiliar.
Hmm. Midnight, midday, sunrise. Okay. The one that says sunrise, I'm gonna push all the dials to the left. Just make sure they're all furthest left.
Okay. Yes. As soon as you go to the first one and grab it and start sliding it, Mechanicus, May, and Jillian. Oh, and Hellscream. As soon as he starts sliding it, you notice a flash of light coming from the spire, and with it, a large thread erupts from it, floating, waiting. Arcane thread that you see, it's kind of just floating in the air, like it's like fabric in water.
Straight up?
It's straight up, kind of just waving from the arc. You do not see it, Theo.
Oh. Okay. That's weird. Alright, that didn't do anything. I mean, that didn't do anything.
I look over to Mechanicus and like,
Oh, popping mic.
is that better?
Yeah, now it's good.
I look over to Mechanicus and I'm like, do you see that up there?
Yes.
What is that?
Very much resembles the apprentice box.
That, my dear, is magic.
What's magic? I'm just touching the dials here.
It is because you are a simpleton, you can't see it.
Well, whatever. So I kind of push the dials all the way to the right.
Hellscream. You hear a voice. Hey, young one. Do you see it? With this blade along comes magic. I know you not one the magical means, but wield me. Wield your brothers, your fathers, those that came. I shall guide you. Just like I guide you when you were youngling. Through power I bestow. Comes with the price. You will learn in time. And the vibration coming from what you grasp in your hand, full arm, dissipates.
Shifu. So I begin to walk up towards the dials.
Theo, you mentioned you moved the dial again.
All the way to the right. All the dials to the right. Just
As you move all the dials to the right, the rest of you that can see this, you see it flicker. You see it sputter. It seems to be chaotic. It doesn't know what direction it wants. Trying to find a direction. Not fine-tuned as you see it It's chaotic nature of the threads not honing into one section, one point of interest. As he slides it all the way to the right. The
No,
chaos.
no, stop it. Go the other direction. You're messing it up.
Oh. Okay. I knew I did something right. And he slides it all the way back to the left.
As it does it again, you see it chaotically, and it feels like as he's sliding the majority of them, it feels like there was one point of all the dials. It felt at one point that they were probably honing in at its best, peaking, and as he continued, it just kind of lost it. Its point of interest, its chaotic nature at that point just starts spluttering all over the place. As you see the fabrics, like I said, swaying in water, as you see these arcane threads just kind of going at its own destination, just unknowing.
So does each thing have 3 dials?
Only 2 of them has dials. It's similar to the one that Theo is using right now. Each one has 3 dials. But then
Okay,
there's that
so-
one that has switches.
What is the Theo? Which
I'm on Sunrise.
You're on Sunrise? Okay. I think you should put the dials in a way that represents sunrise, like the time of day.
Listen, young one, you need to let the adults figure this out.
And then I think for the other ones, we should also match the dials to the time of day that they represent.
Mechanicus is going to cast Minor Illusion. And Theo, let me show you what we can see. And I'm going to cast Minor Illusion as an exact copy on top of the magic.
Like a small
that's moving
scale?
around so that he can see it, like
Right.
up there, yeah.
Okay.
That is what we are seeing, except what we can see is much larger. This is a small replica of what is happening right now. I will try to keep it exact as I see it, so that as you move the levers and switches, you can see what you are doing and how you are manipulating this magic.
Beautiful. Very good. So he kind of rolls his hands. One day, I'm going to know this better.
No, you're not. You're not smart enough, but it's just okay.
I will. And he like points at him, like looking straight him in the eye, like, oh, I will. And now that you say I won't, I will do it better. And he goes back to the table.
You will try, my friend, but unfortunately you will fail. But that is okay. You do have other talents, I'm sure. We just have to find.
He leaves the top 2 alone, and kind of puts the no, he takes the middle one. He puts it halfway, and he takes. Oh wait, I'm trying to figure out that you were trying to say to do. He leaves the bottom one alone. The middle one goes halfway, and the top one all the way to the right.
Okay. As you start moving, first one.
As he does that, Mechanicus is going to make the Minor Illusion turn into a skull. Theo, what have you...
What? That can't be. What did I do? It can't be showing that. He's looking around, seeing.
Meliodas is
Did you
like,
see that?
I think you just brought death.
It cursed us. It cursed us all. And he just kind of he quickly shifts all the dials back to the left.
It looked like when he first started pointing it, everyone else that sees the threads, it looks like for a quick second it toned its chaotic nature down, and then as soon as you brought it back, it just went to spluttering chaos that you were just looking at previously.
Just get out of the way, Theo. Let someone know who knows what they're doing. You just Go over there and just get away from it now.
He's kind of like
I told you,
everyday-
you do not have the gift now. You just need to just get over there. And then when Theo walks away, I'm going to put him back exactly how Theo had him.
and like Theo's on his way looking away. Didn't do that.
You go towards it, Mechanicus, and you start sliding those in that nature like where Theo and Jillian had suggested actually. And once you get that final piece on at the very end where it's in place, the thread hones in finest point. All the threads actually they're kind of like intertwined. They all hone in. They see it come towards you as the thread attaches. The thread just attaches itself as you're tethered to what looks like the large spire of Mikra. Everyone else that saw that the thread, you saw for a quick instant that Mechanicus had attached himself to it, and then the thread disappeared.
Is it only the casters that can see it?
Yes.
Okay.
Does anything happen?
You feel that same urge to pull or that you did previously with the apprentice box.
But he doesn't see anything. The weave.
No. You can still see the weave. You can still see the thread. You can see it as you're tethered to it. Once you tethered, everyone else lost it. They didn't see it.
Mechanicus is gonna like open himself to it and just like try to pull.
Okay. As you look into what feels like you're just attaching yourself to something much more powerful, as you can feel the rush of just immense power, just like not at the fingertips, but you could tell that it's at the edge of somewhere you just can't grasp. But as you pull and you pull, it seems like there's something missing. Like if it's waiting for something.
Can Mechanicus discern what?
Roll an Arcana check.
22.
22. As you pull and you feel that urge, that energy that surging through you for that quick second. You feel the absence of either something else that's supposed to do the same thing. You discern that there's other tethers within this Mikra contraption itself. You have the sense that it has not been activated.
Does Mechanicus know how to activate?
I'm sorry?
Does Mechanicus know how to activate?
You
this?
feel that the other tables that were not touched might be the key.
The other tables that weren't touched. Define what you mean by that.
There's 3 tables surrounding the Mikra
I thought
spot.
we had touched all of them whenever we moved and flipped levers and moved shit.
No, it was just Theo moving one of the tables that has 3
okay.
dials.
Um,
There's 3 dials on that
Mechanic-
one table. That's why.
and all of those dials are moved to the left currently.
No,
No.
they're
Okay. So
he
he's gonna
positioned
move-
themselves. Yeah.
He's gonna move the one in the middle to the middle.
So right now, let's say you're on table number 1, which has dials, which already been shifted. So
Like,
you want to
I'm
go?
good at table
If you want to go to
two.
number
Is there,
2,
like-
number 2 has switches.
So, like, is there 3? Like, is this what table 1 looks like?
Right.
That's sunrise.
So we would move
No, it's
all
it's
of these to
the first one is not sunrise, it's midday.
Oh,
Okay, so we would put all of these in the middle.
Jess, I think you're making it harder than. I think we're supposed to take all three of them and find the correct dial. You're on the correct dial for that one. I'm pretty sure we're supposed to go to the other two and find the correct dial on that to unlock all of the threads.
Once again, you are still just a child.
I mean,
Now, step
you
aside
are correct.
and let the adults speak. Now,
I'm just
May,
gonna walk up to the other table.
if she does not fall in line, I need you to give her a whoop.
I'm just gonna start flipping the switches. I'm
As soon
ignoring the old man.
as soon as you go towards that first switch and you start pulling it, sliding it down, immediately you see the arcanic chaotic thread sputter on the other side of the spire.
I'm gonna keep playing with the switches to find the until it stops.
Mechanicus is going to keep doing minor illusions so that Theo can see what's going on.
Theo's just kind of like sitting.
Go ahead and roll an Arcana check.
20.
Yeah, as you go towards it, you go for the first one. You start slowly pulling it down, kind of like a gradient as you see it slowly kind of shift every time you, the further down you go, and that's you go to the next one and the next one. You do the same thing. You start seeing it hone and pretty much all converge into one giant thread. As you get to the very end of the switch, see the thread just whip, just like into like your chest as you connect to it. The rest of you that saw that happen, of course, as it comes down on Jillian, you see it disappear. You see Jillian's reaction, as if you know that she's right now enabling it.
I just turn to Mechanicus and I'm like, boom, old man. We need
I'm gonna put
another
her to
person to
sleep.
man the third one.
It is time for you to go to bed. I'm going to cast sleep at level 2.
Okay, there's no save for that, right?
No, I just have to beat her.
Yeah,
HP,
you just
which
gotta
I
be
doubt
in
I
it.
did.
Yeah. How much health do you have, Jillian?
My max or current?
Current.
Current.
19.
The rest of you, as you, as you see, Mechanicus just become grumpy, just out of nowhere towards Jillian, and you hear him say, "Go to sleep." You see, you look over at Jillian. Her eyes roll for a quick second, and then it kind of comes back as she kind of looks at Mechanicus with a weird expression, and she just drops like a sack of potatoes. A little tiny form you hear, and once again you start seeing the threads just whip out of her, and just like right now, kind of like honed in, but just kind of floating above, while you see Jillian starting to drool a little bit.
Children these days need to learn respect. She is very lucky I did not give her a whoop.
Sometimes you can be so.
Meliodas just looks at Jillian's like, "Whoa, I think there's something wrong with Jillian." He walks towards her, and he's like trying to fan her, like just waving his hand in front of her face. Jillian.
I think she's fine. Just in tantrum.
Just wait, old man.
She's sleep talking.
She's talking in her sleep. Yeah. What are the rest of you doing?
Like,
As you see your
Mechanicus is
comrade
gonna
just
cast-
collapse.
Mechanicus just doesn't even look at her anymore. Now let's just get back to this. I'm gonna cast Detect Magic and try to figure out like what kind of magic this threat.
As you do so, you're looking at the you look at the contraptions. You look
There
at.
we go. Finally, search.
Oh,
We'll get back to that. As you look at you look towards the center, and you see looking at the spire, and you look at the tables, and you see the connection of arcanic energy. The energy itself pulsates, glows with this vision of you, as you can see magic itself, and you associate all the magic, all the different types of magic, with different colors. That's how you identify it. To you, when you're looking at this, it's like a kaleidoscope of color. Not just one. It like reverberates different elements.
Does it feel intelligent?
You don't sense. You can't tell nothing. You don't see any.
I just like lost sound all of a sudden.
Oh. So to those hearing, he does not sense any sentient nature from. Doing all right over there, Jess? You're back.
Yeah, like all of a sudden my sound just like went off, and then all of a sudden come back on its own. It's weird.
What are the rest
Alright.
of you doing?
Heading to the
Sleeping.
third table.
I head over to check on Jillian.
As
Okay,
I head
pick
to the
her up.
third table, I look at the little one on the floor. Tempted to like kick her, but not really kick her.
Like,
Tempting.
like nudge her with your foot.
Just to the shoulder.
You do 1 point of damage and she wakes up. No.
Whoa.
You go to the table, you said?
Yes.
Okay. And this one is the last of the table. And this is the other table with the dials, the sliding dial.
What's this one? Midnight?
The order was midday, midnight,
Midnight.
sunrise. This is sunrise. This is the third table.
Same as the first one. 3 dials.
You're gonna start sliding it.
Yeah.
As you do so, you see the threads wildly just kind of move around as you start sliding and putting portions of it.
can't see it. He's not a caster.
Think. Dun dun dun. All right. You see the threads at this point. It looks like you had it in some sort of position, perhaps that it liked it at its best, and it just at the end of it, it started getting chaotic again. So as you're mimicking the other table, the dials, you feel like it's still off. Probably not this.
Who's the other magic user that's not sleeping?
I believe I could see the stuff, so I'll help out.
Poppy bike. Okay,
Putting a
and you're
fire
gonna go
in
to
the
May. I'm assuming you're probably gonna go to the other table, the second
I'm
one.
by. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so that thread. So now the rest of you, since Mechanicus is not, I mean, since Mechanicus is still connected to that other thread, the tether that's tethered to him. You see two other at this point, two of them opposite from the table that Mechanicus is located. You see the threads, this ropey like arcanic energy just swaying in both on one side. The one that's with May, the one that you're with May and Jillian, that one is honed in. That one you could tell it's like at its peak at this point.
Does Mechanicus feel he needs to adjust the one he's at?
No, you're tethered, meaning that when you're at right now, you're in the midst of activating something, but you like I said, you figured that you're waiting for something.
So the one I'm at is perfectly tethered.
Right.
I looked at Hellscream and was like, you need to figure out tethering yours.
It's not tethered anywhere. It's honed in. It's like
It's honed in. Okay,
right,
so
yeah.
I just kind of tell him, you got to figure out how to hone in yours to look like this.
That one needs to tether.
And once
It was
again,
tethered to
it
the
was.
one, but she was sleeping. Don't know how that happened.
Mechanicus is still minor illusioning all of this that Theo can see.
So I screamed to May for her to tether hers first.
I put my hands on the table to see if anything happens.
Okay. You reach out.
You have to pull it. Now just pull it.
You reach out and you grab the handle of the last switch. As soon as you touch it, you just feel this force running through you. As you can see visually, this tether slam itself against your chest. You don't feel no pain, but you feel its force as you shift backwards. The rest of you could see May kind of just like look like she'd been hit by like an invisible, like this blast of wind. As the tether, or I'm sorry, as the arcanic threads disappear. May, as you're attached to this thing, you feel this immense energy. You've never felt this before. But as you progress and hold on to this tether, start getting these memories of something familiar, like the energy itself. It was perhaps similar to something your dream. You remember yourself being engulfed by this blinding light. That sensation that you're feeling right now, it brings you back to that moment. And as you're attached to this, you feel the urge to, or pull of this energy.
So seeing that she's tethered now, I fuck with my dials again.
You start sliding it at a direction you're considering, or kind of just want to mess with it as health.
I like where my heart takes me. Sunrise.
Go ahead and roll an intelligence. You know what? Make it a wisdom check.
Oh, sorry about the slap. Cheat 8.
An 8. You're sliding it back. You see kind of just like a radio when you're trying to tune into this one station. You just keep skipping over that radio. It's kind of like that. It's like it feels like you're about to get it, and then you lose it. Like you just can't quite figure out where's this section, where's this little area of the dial that you needed at. It takes you about another 2 minutes. The rest of the party kind of look at you.
Except for me.
Another 5 minutes ago. Meliodas at this point, it's like no one's doing anything. He's just like, hey, I'm gonna lay down for a second. And he just lays down, waiting for you as Hellscream, you're kind of still trying to figure this out as the rest of the party kind of looks at you, waiting around. Mechanicus, your legs are starting to get tired. You're just standing in front of it.
God, you meat fingered. Just slow. Go slow.
May,
Come stand here and I will do it myself.
May, you're still continuing. You're still continuing this sensation, this familiar sensation. You're still continuing your connection to it, and you're trying to understand it as you feel like memories are passing by your mind, but memories that you can't even remember. Like you kind of remember something, but not.
Yeah, I am just like solely focused on those, trying to figure out these memories.
Mechanicus
By
is
the
gonna pick Jillian up and then lay her on the table and then like walk away from the table to see if it tethers to her.
She's
And
too
then
far.
if
She's
it
too far from
does-
you. If you move, you break the tether. Put it that way.
Does he feel like if he comes back into the tether it would reconnect?
If he comes back for the what? Say again.
Like if he broke the tether and then walked back in range, would it reconnect?
I mean, you think you could reconnect the way you did, the way that it may reconnected after Jillian had taken a sudden collapse.
Mechanicus is gonna like walk over, break the tether, pick Jillian up, walk back, lay her on the table, and then walk away and see if it tethers back to Jillian. And if it does, he's gonna walk over and push Hellscream out the way. Get out of the way, you big oof! And then he's gonna try to like move the dial so that it works.
How long does sleep last again?
Until oh yeah,
No.
a minute. No, it until hit or shaken away.
Yeah. So we're gonna leave her here. It was fun playing with you guys.
Okay. All right. So she's pretty much out until like tomorrow, essentially, right? That's what you're telling me.
Would that wake me up though? Like something?
I was gonna tell him to do a
Like
strength
that.
check because he's a weak old man trying to pick up a body, no matter what size. So, a strength check to see if you manage this.
19!
Holy
Crit success!
Oh my
Fuck
god!
you little fucking unruly bitch!
Whoa!
You
Just
stay
don't drop me, old
asleep.
man.
You staying asleep, bitch! It's nap time!
Okay. Oh my god. How do you do this?
He just walks over and like
Okay,
picks
yeah.
her up.
You pick you pick her up
You're like y'all hear him going, oh god, my back, my
as
knee,
you
ah."
you walk away from the machine. You see yourself untethered from it, and you get this other honed in thread, arcanic thread sticking out. You go over to her body, you pick it up, and you place her on the table, oh so gently, without waking her up.
And then he starts making his way toward Hellscream, and y'all can hear him going, oh, I think one of the hemorrhoids are hanging out now. Oh, God. Oh God. Hellscream, I need you. And as he says that, he's like hiking his robe up. Where else? I need you to push it back in, my.
Don't do it.
By this point, Hellscream, as soon as Mechanicus stops talking is you feel this slam against your body. And as you look up, you notice that finally you figured out where that dial had to be. As you see the thread kind of just attaching itself to your chest, and this urge of power just subsides you as you feel this energy that you can pull or you can push. This energy is like it's ever flowing as you attach to it. You say something?
Do we push or do we pull?
Oh,
Speaking to
okay.
the old man, and forgot I was muted for a second.
You need to pull. Everyone, when I say pull. 1, 2, 3, pull!
Absolutely nothing happens because I'm still asleep.
Shut up, little one, you are still asleep.
Let out a really big snore.
She's like the most willing of all of the vessels.
As you all feel that connection, and you reach out to that energy, and you pull with your consciousness, the tables of the mechanical tables shift with a quick like sectional shift, I should say. They all move away from the spire with a quick jolt, and then they regress into the ground.
Wait!
Oh,
Wait! I'm still there! Do I
As
fall off?
as
Am I going
as
into the
it jolts, and with a quick motion, it jolts away from it, and then it just comes down with a quick slam. As you see, Jillian's body just kind of gets flung off of it, and she just slides off and hits the ground. And Jillian, you take one hit, one bludgeoning damage as you hit the ground, as you're staring at the ceiling. And when you look at the ceiling, you see this immense light blast illuminating the whole chamber. As the rest of you look at this, the spire, as the spire looks to liquefy for a quick second, and as it does, it kind of folds and falls into itself. And in the center, you see floating, just slowly floating.
Can we see what? Sorry, you cut out.
Ooh, I'm sorry. In the center, where the spire was, you see two little objects, kind of just whirling over and over, circular motion, floating right where the point of the spire was, as it slowly lowers down and it's at eye level.
Mechanic
And a glow, this green glow emanating, you could see coming from the maker itself. And we're gonna end tonight's session. See these two rings kind of floating magnetically around each other. Until next session.
What the fuck? You had to wake the bitch up before we ended?
Yes.
Come on. You better be glad he ended it there, because my guess is like, what are you doing awake? I said go to bed.
You better be glad he ended it there.
Then you were going to go back to sleep.
How many times oh, never mind. We're doing
I
off
can
of
guess
meta
it a
points.
lot. A whole fucking lot. You won't
forgot-
play it all
Yeah.
next session. I never did my surge.
Oh,
Yeah, do that surge.
yeah.
You're muted.
I'm sorry, yeah. I started eating something. Surge. We'll do that next time because I can't even find my damn rules right now.
Is it a D100?
It's a D20. I think I.
Well, there's your number, 14. So you'll know what happens.
Right, right. Anyway, sorry to cut it like absolutely like on time for my time 1 o'clock here, but the past week or so I've been having like really hard had shortness of breath and hard breathing. But first of all, I went to the hospital because I was kind of fucking like paranoid about it. And not only that, it was like shortness of breath, I had like immense pressure and pain in my chest. I went to the ER like, was it yesterday? I can't even fucking remember. Yesterday, the day before, and the whole time, of course, they're asking me if I've been like having fevers, and like a lot of coughing or whatever. I didn't have any of those symptoms, so I think I'm probably okay because they would have not they didn't test me, but they would have if they felt like I was having like really severe symptoms that comes along with it. So
Oh, that's good.
I've been like shortness of breath, and today as I've been DMing, it's kind of it was a little hard for me to.
I don't know if you guys got heard word, but if you do feel like you have symptoms, don't take IV. Apparently that.
Don't take what? Ibuprofen, you said?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's all I take.
I took
Don't do it.
I've been taking
You could take,
I've been
like,
taking
Tylenol,
yeah.
anything that's not,
I've been no, you know what I've been taking a lot of
NSAIDs.
vitamin C with zinc like
Oh,
supplements.
yeah, that's supplements. Yeah, you could
Yeah, man.
get that immune system strong.
Well, I hope you don't have the Rona.
Oh no.
The Rona.
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 Where are you?
Oh, we're in Virginia. Oh, Miguel though, he's in New York. He's
I'm even
in
worse
he's
then,
in
baby.
he's in like
Yeah.
yeah, he's pretty much in the ground zero area of
Louisiana's catching up though.
Really?
Man, we are like rapidly.
Louisiana's number one in the world right now, as far as
Yeah, the US is number 1.
Number one.
If
yeah,
you
the
put
US.
the
Yeah,
first
dude.
30
You're over
days of Italy
Yeah.
and the first 30 days of Louisiana, we've already surpassed Italy's number for
Really?
the first 30 days.
What? US is
Yeah, like
fucked,
right
yo.
now it's all like what in the New Orleans area and stuff.
Oh yes,
Right,
because they
right.
keep going out there partying. It's like,
I
bruh,
heard there was a
party
spike
at home.
in Louisiana. Yeah.
Yep,
Crazy.
the old boot.
People ain't listening. They're acting crazy.
We got the stay at home order, and